welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a storytelling video. Woo! I am going to be talking today about the time that my parents thought that I was a lesbian, or a Lebanese, according to Miranda. Back when I was 13 or 14 years old, I think I was that age, I don't think I was any older than that. I used to have like, my bedroom was upstairs and then you would come downstairs and there would be like the front door and then you would go into the like living room kind of area where no one really ever went. And then there was a like more formal dining room behind the living room through like these open doors, and then you would go to the kitchen. So anyways, we used to have like in the more like living room that you know, no one really sat in very often. We used to have Ostar in there, or Foxtel. It used to be Ostar when I was little. I don't know if it still is. I don't even know what Ostar is, but it was Foxtel. So we used to have Foxtel in like this room, and then you would go out into like this spare dining room, whatever, that no one really sat in. I don't even know why we had it. One of the rooms with the TV had Foxtel, the other living room didn't. So I used to sit in this room with Foxtel all the time because I loved watching Foxtel, and I used to love MTV, and I loved reality TV series. I used to watch this show, and I used to love all reality TV. I still do. It's like my favorite like type of television show, and I used to love this show called A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila, which basically, if you don't know who Tila Tequila is, I don't even know who she is. I don't even think she's relevant anymore, to be honest with you. I don't feel like she was ever relevant. She was a like singer, I guess you could say, and an actress, I guess you could say, but she was like a TV personality person, model, I don't really know. But anyways, it was kind of like The Bachelor. It was like her, but she was bisexual. So, a bit different to The Bachelor. She would have like men and women come to this big mansion, and she would get to know them, and then she would, you know, buzz someone off if she didn't like them, and at the end of the show she would have like two people standing, whatever, just like The Bachelor, but lesbian form. I used to love this show so much, and I didn't love it because, you know, she was like a lesbian. I mean, I didn't care that she was a lesbian. I just liked it because it was entertaining, there was always drama, and I just love those sorts of shows. Like, I love The Bachelor now. I was watching this show one time, and I'd been watching it for ages, on and off, like, you know, I was sort of like always watching it whenever it was on. It got to the point at one stage where it was like, the show had ended, the episode had ended, and it was getting on to the next episode, like showing what was going to happen in the next episode, like the preview. This particular episode, I was sitting there, you know, watching the TV, and in this particular episode, at the end, Tila was in a hot tub, or the spa or whatever, with a bunch of people, and she was making out with this girl. And I was like, okay, whatever, like I didn't really care. I mean, I knew all about, you know, the birds and the bees, and that, you know, some people liked girls, some people liked guys, some people liked rabbits, like I knew everything. So there I am watching this show, minding my own damn business. And basically how the living room was set out was, if someone walked like, got to go up the stairs, you could see them, but if someone came into the dining room, unless they were like really loud, you couldn't really like see them because the chairs used to like face the TV, and you couldn't see if like someone was behind you. So I'm guessing that my mum must have come in to ask me something, or wanted to know like a question, or wanted to see what I was doing, and she's seen these two girls making out on the television. So anyways, I don't know if she said anything to me, or whether or not she just kind of like saw it and walked off. But basically, I have finished watching the TV show, I went upstairs, and then about half an hour later, I get a call from Mum from the bottom of the stairs to say, can you come down here? And I come down, and both my parents are sitting at the kitchen table, and I'm like, oh God, what have I done? I was like, it's not me. I can't really blame it on anyone else because I'm an only child. So I was like, there goes that. So I've sat down, and my mum's just like, you know, I just wanted to kind of talk to you and ask you about, you know, your feelings at the moment. You're obviously a teenager, and you know, you're going through puberty, and there's lots of hormonal things, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, what are you getting at? And then she's like to me, I just want to know if, you know, you've been having thoughts about, you know, other things. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what someone said, what's been happening? Like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm just upstairs, minding my own business, probably doing some like MySpace searching, stalking, and you've called me down here for what? So she's like, we really need to talk and just see whether or not you are having, you know, fantasy thoughts about females as well as males. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mum, like what are you going on about? Because like I did not have any interest in girls, like I never have, you know, like straight guys for me. But not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with the Lebanese, but, you know, like, I ain't about that life for me. When my mum say this, I was like really shocked, and she was like, oh, you know, I think that, you know, we need to talk about it because it's completely understandable, like, you are a young girl, and she's like, you know, if you are having these thoughts about girls, then I want you to be able to talk to me about it, and it's completely understandable if you're curious about that kind of, you know, about people liking girls and all that. And I was like, why are you telling me this? Like, why are you talking to me about this? This is weird. Like, I didn't even want to have the birds and the bees conversation with my parents at all, let alone be talking about being a lesbian. So my mum's like, you know, I walked in and I saw you watching these girls making out on television. And I was like, yeah, I was sitting there watching this TV show that I like because it's entertaining and it's drama. And it just so happened when you walked in that these girls are hooking up. I was like, you know, this girl is a bisexual. There's males on there as well. She's hooking up with males. Like, you're not going to talk to me about that. So my mum was like, you know, but why would you want to watch? Like, why would you be willing to watch something like that? You know, like, you're a 13-year-old teenage girl. And I was like, I ain't getting off on it. Like, I'm sitting there eating my burger rings just watching this TV series, and all of a sudden these girls come up, and I'm not getting off on it. I'm not like, oh my God, what's happening? I'm not confused. Like, there's two girls kissing because she's bisexual. Like, it doesn't bother me that she's a bisexual. I'm just sitting there watching this TV show because I enjoy the TV show. Anyways, I tried so much to defend myself and be like, I'm not a lesbian. I'm not having sexual thoughts about girls. It's not, you know, like, that's not my thing. But my mum was so sure. She was like, no, Jess, like, you know, you're obviously curious and I want you to be able to talk to me. Like, that's a nice thing, I guess, to do to your child. But I kept telling her, like, this is ridiculous. And my dad's just sitting there the whole time, like, I don't even want to be part of this conversation, like, talking about lesbians. I do not care for girls in that way. Like, this is not what I'm about. My mum didn't get it. She didn't understand. She literally thought that I was, like, watching it, like, really curious about what they were doing. And it was the most distraught conversation I've ever had. So I'm like, okay, I'm going back upstairs. You're weird, like, stay down. So I went back upstairs. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that my mum just asked me if I was a lesbian. And then basically she said to me, she was like, you're too young to be watching shows with anyone kissing in a hot tub. You know, like, you're only a teenage girl, you're too young to be watching that, so I don't want you watching it anymore. So I tried to get my dad to, like, let me watch it, but then of course he, like, had to say no because of my mum. I never got to see the end of Tila Tequila. I don't even know if she ended up with anyone. I don't think she did. But I wasn't allowed to watch it anymore because my mum was just like, it's too sexual. But I just cannot believe that she thought just because I watched a TV show where two girls were kissing that I was a lesbian. So anyways, that is basically the end of this story. How awkward. If you guys have any conversations that you've had with your parents that are awkward, leave them down in the comments, let me know, and hopefully you have. Now every time I watch a show with two girls kissing or two guys kissing, my mum's gonna be over there thinking I'm like, you know, I'm getting like really aroused, and it's like, no hunty, I am not. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and let me know, as I said, if you have any awkward stories. Anyways, that is it. I will talk to you guys later in my next video. Bye! I am not a Lebanese. Are you kidding? That is a sin, mother. To even say that is sinning and is born. God, this rain is making my throat gurg like a gurg. Say why I look like a friggin' 12-year-old with thin hair.